My name is Dr. Michael Berlin. I am a wellness coach, a holistic chiropractor, and a nutritionist, and I've been practicing in the holistic health field for about 25 years. And my passion is to help people live the miracle that they are. Because I was born, I always knew that life was a miracle. Okay? I never wanted to take medicines. I knew life can take care of itself. I always knew that there was this wisdom and power to creation that was just miraculous. And so when I grew and decided to help people, right, like I said, I want to help people live the miracle that we are because we truly are miracles. Would you agree? Yes. Okay, you know, they say when a baby is born, oh, it's a miracle. Well, you've heard it before, we're still that miracle. Nothing has changed. So over the years, as I learned about how to help people really express and experience the miracle that we are, I realized that the things that keep us from really expressing the miracle that we are, on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level, are things that interfere with us. You know, Michelangelo was asked with his statue of David, they said, how did you create such a beautiful statue of David, you know? And he said, all I did was chip away everything that was not David. And I found that really we are very similar, okay? If we are inherently miracles and inherently miraculous, right, then what holds us back from experiencing and expressing it are things that happen to us. And so what I'm going to talk about today is nutrition and weight loss. Okay, but from the perspective of helping you live the miracle that you are. Because what happened to most of us, right, is a buildup over the years of stress and toxicity. Okay, and that's why America has an obesity problem, right? If you ever look around, 70% of Americans are overweight, all right, and half of the 30% who are not overweight are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Right? Our kids, obesity is on the rise. And if you look at the obesity trends and you look at the Alzheimer's trend is almost exactly the same. So if you look at the Alzheimer's trends, then you look at the diabetes trends, right? They're all almost the same. The cancer trends, the heart disease, they all look almost the same. And the reason is because it comes from the same cause. And so most of us, when we were young, right, we can eat anything, and as far as weight gain was concerned, it wouldn't really bother us. And the reason is because when we were young, our bodies were pristine. Okay, they were clean and pristine. And our hormones, and if you want to lose weight, it's all about the hormones. All right? But our hormones were set to fat burning. When the body is efficient, the hormones are set to fat burning. But little by little, what happens over time, over our lifetime, from stress and toxicity, is that our hormones start switching, little by little, from fat burning to fat storing over time. Our bodies are storing fat for energy and protection. Okay? It's like if there was a time of war, we'd be stockpiling ammo, food, water, things like that. So as the body goes into emergency mode from stress and toxicity, we start storing fat. So I had been looking in my practice, like I said, I've been practicing for 25 years, but I had been looking for a nutritional program for about 7-8 years that really, really helped our patients get their nutrition under control, to help them heal, condition, stay healthy for life, and eat, shop, and cook in the way that their whole family can do it at the healthiest way. And so I didn't really find anything until I found a Dr. Singleton. And Dr. Singleton had been working with patients for about 20 years with nutrition, and his dad got sick. He did a workup on his dad. He did a blood test, a biomeridian machine. He did a big workup. The medical doctors did workups on his father, and no one could find anything. So he put his dad on some nutritionals that he thought would help him, right? And he said that a month and a half later, his dad was dead from a stage 4 cancer that no one could find. So he said it put him in a tailspin, right? He said, oh my God, like what am I doing with my patients? Am I a charlatan? So he said he went to every nutritional seminar he could find. He read every book he can get his hands on, and he put together these nutritional protocols to help heal things like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, okay, and other degenerative diseases. But what he found was that when he put his patients on these programs, that the weight was coming off like crazy, okay? So that was the key, that was the impetus. And so what he found is that when you truly clear the inside and get yourself back to that pristine state like we were when we were young, your hormones go back to fat burning, all right? Your body gets efficient, the weight comes off, the muscles go up, like I said, the hormones balance, and you stay that way. It's a cure. You don't just lose weight. It's not a diet program. We heal the weight problem once and for all, last program you ever do. Okay? Because we reverse all the stress and toxicity that occurred over your years. Make sense? So, right, it's a whole different ball game. So I was very excited about this. And so let's talk about it a little bit. So if you took vegetables, right? You go buy your vegetables and your fruits and vegetables, and you put them in the refrigerator. After a couple of days, they start to rot, right? Why? Because they have live vitamins, minerals, enzymes, right? And they begin to break down to become part of the cycle of life. Junk food, on the other hand, right? McDonald's and, all that stuff, right? Will not break down. You could take a McDonald's hamburger, put it on the shelf, it will not rot. Did you know that? Go look it up on YouTube. It's crazy. They take the wrappers off a Happy Meal and they put it in the curb. The ants go around it. Okay, the ants won't even eat it. Right? I used to call it junk food. Now I just call it junk because there's no food in it. Okay, so let me show you something. All right. So everybody knows what that is, right? Sorry, it's a trick question. It's really an artery, all right? So it's an artery. Now, what happens is, if you're eating junk, right, if you're eating foods from a box bag or can, prepackaged foods, things that are not natural and have a lot of junk, what happens is the body isn't designed to break it down. And so large undigested particles of food get into the bloodstream. These large undigested particles of food, as they go through the bloodstream, act like little shards of glass, okay, as they go through the bloodstream and start to cut up the inside of the blood vessel. Okay, starts to cut it up like that. Now, your body doesn't want cuts on the inside of your blood vessels. Number one, it doesn't want you to bleed through. And number two, these jagged edges can pop red blood cells, and your body doesn't want to pop red blood cells. So what does it do to protect you? It lays down a nice little layer of cholesterol, okay, to make it nice and smooth so the blood vessels can go through a smooth passageway. But if you keep eating the junk, right, the unnatural things, box bag or can, it's going to start cutting it up again, cutting it up, cutting it up, cutting it up, cutting it up, right? So what does your body do to protect you? You got it. Lays down a nice little layer of cholesterol. All better, right? But what's happening to the hole? It's getting smaller, right? Okay? Until one day, you're working hard in the yard or you have a really stressful day and all of a sudden it becomes an emergency. Now the problem is the cholesterol, right? Wrong. It's our diet, and that's what needs to change. Okay? Our diets and environment have gotten so bad, and particularly in America, and that's why we're having such an obesity problem. Okay? So, let me show you another thing. This is my time to draw. So, all right. Now this one's going to take a little bit more time. Okay, almost there. Ten, good. Almost there. We're getting right there. Okay, last little bit. Okay, good. So, stomach, okay? Forgive my drawings, but stomach. Use your imagination. So the way this is supposed to work is your stomach is supposed to liquefy all your foods, right? Very, very strong hydrochloric acid is supposed to liquefy everything you put in there. And then that liquid food is supposed to go into your small intestines. Now, this is a cross-section of the small intestines, and your small intestines is like two shag carpets put together with lots of fingers in there. And living on those fingers are trillions and trillions of probiotics, right? Good acidophilus, good probiotics. Did you know that we're supposed to have 10 times more probiotics in our small intestine than we have cells of our body? Okay, trillions. Our digestive system needs to be a packed bag of enzymes and probiotics, right? So that no matter what you put in there, it dissipates into nothing. So the liquid food goes into the small intestines, right? And then the trillions and trillions of probiotics take this liquid food and digest it a little bit more, right? The nutrients then, and extract the vitamins and minerals, and the nutrients then go into solution, and then these fingers pick up the nutrients, they're absorbed in the fingers, and that's how we get our nutrients into our body, okay? But if our stomach is not functioning properly, and the things that over time ruins the lining of the stomach, which produces the acid, the things that ruin it are coffee, soda, caffeine, alcohol, junk food, stress. Okay? I'm going to say it again. Coffee, soda, caffeine, alcohol, junk food, stress. Now, it's not like you have a cup of coffee and all of a sudden your stomach's ruined. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? Slowly, over time. I tell people it's like a drop of water in a sink, right? How can a soft little drop of water hurt a hard porcelain sink? Doesn't make sense, right? Yet, over time, it'll gouge a hole in the sink. Coffee, soda, caffeine, alcohol, junk food, and stress, over time, wears down your stomach. And what happens is, then you start to get large, undigested particles of food in your stomach. Now, this sphincter over here, called the pyloric sphincter, is not supposed to let large, undigested particles of food in there. And so it closes up like this, and many times the stomach will try to pump to get that food through, and the acid goes back up that way. That's called acid reflux, right? Agita, GERD, heartburn. Okay, why is that happening? Because your stomach is not digesting properly. Pretty easy. But, so you don't starve, your body's going to let some food through there. So some of the food's going to go through into your small intestines. Now, as it goes into your small intestines, these fingers are like chopped meat. And little by little, these large undigested particles start to chip away at those little fingers. And so your shag carpets, little by little, become Berber carpets. Okay? Now, you're not absorbing your vitamins and minerals. So as this starts to get destroyed by this process, you're not absorbing your vitamins and minerals, your energy starts to plummet. You start to crave sugar, coffee, caffeine, drama sometimes, anything to pick up your energy, right? Because your energy is going down. And so when that happens, your pancreas down here has to pump out 2 times more insulin, okay, twice as much insulin to try and get more energy up into your cells because you're not getting your natural energy from your food. But your pancreas also has to work quadruple over time, putting in pancreatic enzymes to help digest this undigested food in your small intestines. So the more this gets taxed, the more your pancreas gets taxed, the more that gets destroyed. So that by the time you're at a 10, you're a diabetic. Anywhere before that, you're pre-diabetic. Okay? This is the cause of type 2 diabetes. Okay? So one of the things that we do, okay, when you come in, and by the way, this is the number one cause of obesity is malnourishment. Did you know that? It's kind of counterintuitive, right? You think that, oh, people are eating too much. Not true. I'm sorry, that wasn't a good example. People eat a lot. Sorry. I was thinking that an elephant eats a lot, but you know what? An elephant's heavy. That wasn't a good example. But they eat vegetables and they're healthy. All right, that's the point. So yeah, malnourishment because we're eating the wrong things. But on our programs, right, it's not a starvation program where we put people on weight loss programs. The whole program is to heal the inside, completely get it pristine with foods and supplements. That's all. All right, we teach people how to shop, cook, and eat the ways they can eat for life for their entire family, even your children. Okay, with the right ratios and food combining. Does anybody remember the Suzanne Somers diet years ago? Remember Suzanne Somers? Yeah, a few people. So Suzanne Somers wrote a book, and she had a movement where lots of people were losing lots of weight on one simple principle. And that simple principle was proper food combining. Okay, she was saying that certain foods should only be eaten with other foods, and that our ratios of foods are critically important. And that is so true. All right, so we should be eating 70-80% vegetables, less than 6% grains, about 10-15% animal products, okay, and about 10% fruits. That's optimal. Everybody's a little different. We work with it depending on your blood type and other genetic factors and things, but those are the basics. So what she found is that the problem was that when you don't properly food combine in the right ratios, that carbohydrates, breads and carbohydrates, are broken down with an acid enzyme, and meats, okay, are broken down with a basic enzyme. And so what happens is if you take an acid and a base and you put them together, right? Does anybody remember from high school chemistry what happens if you put an acid and a base together? Right? It cancels each other out. And so what happens is if you're eating equal parts of breads, pasta, potatoes, things like that, even sweets, and animal products, you're going to get incomplete digestion, and round we go. Make sense? All right? And so her whole diet was based on this principle alone. Okay? So in our program, we teach you all kinds of things. Okay? We teach you how to do the food combining, but most importantly, we start with a very thorough health assessment. Okay? Because what we pride ourselves on is that we truly find and heal the causes of people's weight or health problems and reverse them for life. Okay, that's what we do. So, we're going to look at the health of your thyroid, your stomach, your small intestines, your large intestines, your adrenal glands, your kidneys. We're going to see the fat in your organs, your hydration levels, the vitamin mineral levels, even parasites. Okay, we sit down, we do a very thorough health assessment with some different machinery, and then you'll sit down with me for about an hour and a half, and we take all that data, and it's the relationships between the data that tells us very accurately how all this is functioning. We will tell you very accurately, much more accurate than a blood test, because a blood test is only one moment in time. We'll tell you very accurately if you're trending towards cancer, heart disease, diabetes, or autoimmune, and what to do to reverse it.